What is Starfield and why should you care? Well, first off, Starfield is Bethesda Game Studio's next big video game. It is also their first brand new IP in over 25 years. Now, for those of you who may not know, Bethesda Game Studios are traditionally known for their two video game universes, the Elder Scrolls universe, with games like Daggerfall, Oblivion, and Skyrim, plus Elder Scrolls Online for you MMO players. And they have the Fallout universe with Fallout 3, 4, Shelter, and the game who must not be named. With these two IP, they have forged a reputation for creating vast open world games that immerse you with the level of detail and interactivity within them. They tell stories through quests, level design, and books and notes scattered and hidden across the worlds. There seems to be an almost endless amount of info fleshing these worlds out if you just look and listen. You could be whoever you want in their games, creating your own stories and influencing the world by the actions and decisions you make. They give you the worlds with groups of people to meet, factions, quests to go on with large and small problems to solve, things to fight, loot, steal, use, and upgrade, and other classic RPG stuff like character skills and inventory. Those things are out there for everyone, but it's the decisions you make in the game that impact the world and create your own unique story within Bethesda's quest lines. For small ones, like what to pick up, sell, or buy, to large ones that come with quests, it all matters and affects how your game plays out. Of course, some decisions matter more than others, but the fact that you can make them and that they actually affect the world is what differentiates video games from other media. It's like a choose-your-own adventure book on steroids. They create immersive and interactive fantasy sci-fi simulations riddled with fascinating stories and places and people. And that's a mouthful to say, so let's just say Bethesda-style RPGs. So now that we have a general idea of Bethesda games and why they mostly rock, what's the deal with Starfield? Well, Starfield is their next game, hopefully coming out in the first half of 2023. It's Bethesda's space exploration game. Its tone is NASA punk, where everything in the game is relatively grounded in our science for a sci-fi game. And this space flight is still dangerous. There are alien creatures, how intelligent, who knows, and gravity warp drives. It is set 300-ish years into the future, where humans have colonized what they call the settled systems, an area 50 light years out from our own solar system. And we, as one of the last space explorers with the group Constellation, are charged with a mission. The mission to explore space and find out what's out there. We know the main story is going to have something to do with these artifacts we must find and piece back together. Going around and gathering the pieces will give us a tour of the settled systems so we could see what we're going to be up to in the faction quest lines. What these artifacts build is the answer to everything and will change everything forever, is what they say. And of course, there are other factions in the settled systems that might help us in our quest or get in our way. Now, what that everything is up for debate, and I will speculate in another video. But for now, it seems to piece together this thing. I would love to hear what you guys think of this puzzle and its visions in the description below. I have a couple theories, but that's for another video. Starfield is going to be Bethesda's biggest game they've ever made in scale. They're going to have more lines of dialogue in Starfield than in Fallout 4 and Skyrim combined. And Fallout 4 had a voice protagonist. There are going to be 4 main cities with 3 confirmed as New Atlantis, Aquila, Neon, and with the 4th unknown. There are going to be around 1,000 planets, as stated by Todd Howard. Now, that is a staggering amount, and there will be a lot of procedural generation and open and relatively empty areas, but that isn't a problem when in 300 years, I don't really expect there to be 1,000 planets filled to the brim with cities. I want to be an astronaut exploring the vast expanse to see what's out there. This should be the closest I'm ever going to get to traveling to distant alien worlds. So I'm excited to see. I'm excited to have my first step out moment. You know, on a fresh world. I want to map it out jump around like I'm on the moon, maybe even have to travel lighter because there's too much gravity. I want to document the flora and fauna, collect resources, run into some alien creatures, maybe some random encounters. The checklist they showed in the gameplay reveal actually kind of reminds me of mapping out all the islands and the checklist they have in Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And if it's a good enough planet, why not build a base to produce resources for me? And I'm also not sure how the supply lines are going to work in the settlements, but I imagine it working similarly to Fallout 4. I'm just kind of curious on what the time differences are going to be, because it takes a while for you to get from planet to planet. And of course, to get around, we will have our own flyable and customizable ships, which is absolutely awesome. And you can land anywhere on each planet with a little landing animation. Curious to see how satisfying the landing is in the game, but who knows? But yeah, we also know that each solar system is leveled in the game, so that is an interesting twist, which I'm curious to see its implementation. Some of the worlds look absolutely breathtaking. I'm just really excited to check out these places and see what/who I run into. Speaking of which, one of the factions I'm really excited to run into is the Crimson Fleet, or the Space Pirates of Starfield. I want to see how that will work. Like, I want to be flying along, and hear a cry or a beacon for help over the radio. And when I investigate, be boarded by pirates or something, kill them all, have one of my companions follow me home while I fly the ship back to our settlement, and, maybe use it as a cargo ship for my supply line, something like that. It's things like that I think can be really, really interesting. I'm excited for the faction quest lines as well, but I originally thought that we would basically decide what happens between the next bloody colony war between the Freestar Collective and the United Colonies, but I thought it was going to be a mix almost between Skyrim's Big War and the Star Wars Battlefront's like Galactic Conquest, basically like a battle for each planet, at the end of the game. But the video about quests that just came out the other day says that the faction quest lines can all be completed separately and we won't necessarily be the leader of each faction by the end of the quest line, but we will help steer them, where they go with our decisions throughout the quest line. Overall, there's tons of stuff I want to talk to you guys about with this game, but I just wanted to give you guys a brief overview today. Hope that you guys are excited as I am about this game, and I would love to hear your thoughts and speculation down in the comments as well. I'd love to hear some of your feedback on this video as well. I'd like to make the content as good as possible for you guys, so let me know if there's anything I can improve upon. Thanks, and have a great day or night. Hopefully, I will see you guys in the next one. So thank you. Later.